Alright guys, it's Bulbs and this is week number 9 of the fourth season of the Home Draft League. Today we face Earthlab and the Colorado Aggrons. Coming off that really good victory from week 8, let's just see if we can push momentum on, keep going into week 9 and hopefully get this win. So yeah, this is how the league standings are looking after our incredible week 8 victory against the Anaheim Appletons, something that I did not expect to see. Now obviously week 9 has already been and gone. This battle is being uploaded a little bit late, so we're still only on 8 games played. But given that most of the rest of the league, apart from the Tortuga, who are on 7, which really concerns me, because they could very easily leapfrog us. But other than them, like most of the other teams have played 9, we've played 8, and we're still somehow second. Now the Lucarios, in their week 9, they won 6-0, which is their fourth or fifth 6-0 of the season, which leaves them a massive differential, which is pretty much uncatchable. So I don't think I'm really looking at. Not that I was really looking at top of the league anyway for us, but I think that position is probably belonging to Tez and the Lucarios now. However, I am more looking at the standings, obviously, like always, trying to get into the top 8, just trying to secure myself in the playoffs. And the Golducks, coached by Ballistic, they're on an insane run, on a 3-match win streak, which leaves us kind of concerned. Like, I've been looking over my shoulder this entire time. Obviously, because it just takes a few losses to suddenly go from second down to playoff contention. So yeah, at the moment, I mean, Miltanks, they could win their game in hand. We could have, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There could be potentially 6 teams after 9 matches played being on 5 wins, and we're only just 1 win above them with 6. So it could very easily fall apart. But if we can manage to get a good victory here against the Colorado Aggrons, who are rocking quite low down here, and it's lower than they should be. Like, they're a really good team. Earthlab's a really good coach. I'm not quite sure why they are down here, but yeah, it's going to be a really difficult battle. Although saying that, if we just look at my fixtures, I don't mean to single him out, but obviously we've got Ballistic, who's the best coach in the league by far. We've got the Tortuga, who Season 1 champions, I believe. We've got the Manchutel City, incredible team, and we've got, I mean, obviously we're going to beat Shad, but yeah, I don't want to say that the Aggrons are the most winnable fixture that we've got towards the end of the season, but this is kind of a must-win game for me. You know, like much like with the Anaheim Appletons, even though we did win that match, with these 3 in particular, these are matches that I expect to lose. So I need to pick up a win here and potentially here to try and secure myself in the playoffs. So yeah, I don't want to single him out as a worse battler, because that would be completely classless, and I'm not saying that. But relative to these next 3 matches here, this is obviously with Earthlab's position in the table and stuff. This is looking more like, I don't want to say a winnable fixture, but you know what I'm saying. It's probably going to be an easier matchup than either of these 3. So anyway, on that, let's just go straight away into both teams for this battle. I will just say my cat has just jumped up onto my lap, so if you can hear purring in the background, I can only apologise. Here she is. Hello. So yeah, the teams for this battle, obviously my team has not changed all season. We've hit the trade deadline now, so this is going to be the team for the rest of the season. We've got Dracovish, Excadrill, Hippowdon, Politoed, Vileplume, Heliolisk, Houndoom, Ninetale, Skarmory, Blastoise, Mega, Ordino. My opponent's team, he's rocking the Zygarde, the Galarian, oh, goodness sake, Slash, the Galarian Moltres, Swampert, Melmetal, Mega Beedrill, Rotom Heat, Mismagius, Alolan Ninetales, Mesprit, Morgrem, and Servine. I said it in the power rankings video and in the midway, the mid-season video that we did. Morgrem, Servine, not really Pokemon. Like, you know, I'm basically battling 9 Pokemon here. Saying that, the Servine is, like, an Eviolite Servine is probably his only answer to a Dracovish, so I wouldn't be surprised if I see that, but I can easily work around it. Zygarde is obviously terrifying. Skarmory would be the natural answer to a Dragon Ground physical attacker, but obviously Thousand Wave hits Skarmory for super effective damage, which is absolutely terrifying. Swampert as well, like an offensive Swampert, can tear through a Skarmory, Hippowdon, Mega Ordino Core, like a physically offensive, hyper-offensive Swampert. So if my opponent spots that, I'm going to be in a bit of bother with Swampert, but we can outspeed it with our own physical threat, so it might be a case of revenge killing if he does bring that. Melmetal doesn't particularly concern me. Hippowdon can deal with that really easily. Mega Beedrill, again, Yeah, he's got to bring it just because it does break through Mega Ordino, but Hippowdon and Skarmory can absolutely deal with that really well, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he doesn't bring it. Galarian Moltres, I've never really seen it in competitive, so I don't really know what it does. At the moment, it's not concerning me too much. I know I'll probably end up eating my words on that, but Mega Ordino can just deal with that quite well from the calcs that I've seen. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much in this team that does concern me, although saying that the Alolan Ninetales is 100% coming because it basically can shut down any weather that I do decide to bring. And yeah, on that, enough rambling, let's just go into the team builder. Here we go. As you can see here, Blastoise is the first Pokemon that I'm bringing. You can see from the makeup of the team, we're bringing the Blastoise, we're bringing the Excadrill, and we're bringing the Dracovish. Like, we're going... I don't want to say hyper offense, because we've still got 3 very defensive Pokemon in Politoed, Hippowdon, and the Mega Ordino, but, like, I'm going to go for a little bit less bulky stall in this, and more just try and wall break. But yeah, I looked at my opponent's team, and Blastoise with this moveset here, after a Shell Smash, I'm pretty sure it 2-hit KOs, at least 2-hit KOs every single Pokemon. If we can get the Rain up, my opponent brings me down to my Sash, so it activates Torrent. Like, Torrent multiplies our water attacks by 50%. The Rain will multiply it by another 50%, so... yeah, I mean, those surfs are going to become really, really hard for my opponent. I went for this because if you look here, my opponent, like I said before, his only water resist, his only Dracovish answer, and also his only Blastoise answer is the Servine. So yeah, if we, like I say, Torrent, Rain, +2 Blastoise, it kind of sweeps, right? I mean, yeah, he's only got the 1 water weakness, but what's he switching in? So with the coverage of Surf, Ice Beam, and Dark Pulse, obviously Ice Beam for the Zygarde and the Galarian Moltres, the Surf will take out the Swampert, yeah, Surf for the Melmetal, Surf for the Beedrill, Surf for the Rotom. I mean, my only concern is the Alolan Ninetales if he does manage to get up an Aurora Veil. I was tempted to run the Flash Cannon over the Dark Pulse, but I think that Mesprit is a little bit more important to take down because Mesprit is a little bit more bulky. It can do a little bit more in return. So yeah, at some point I might switch out the Ice Beam for the... no, not the Ice Beam, sorry. I might switch out the Dark Pulse for the Flash Cannon before the battle. But yeah, this thing is EV'd to outspeed a Choice Scarfed Timid Ninetales. I think I wouldn't be too surprised if he does bring the Choice Scarfed Ninetales as an answer to the Dracovish more than anything, because obviously the Freeze Dry, 4 times super effective. If he manages to outspeed me, say if he predicts me to bring a Choice Scarfed Dracovish, he might bring a Choice Scarfed Ninetales to be an answer for that. So this Blastoise, I am going Timid over Modest, but when you got this much power output, +2 in the rain, it doesn't really matter too much whether you go Modest or Timid. But yeah, we will outspeed that Timid Scarf Ninetales, hopefully catch my opponent off guard there. After that, we've got the Excadrill. This thing is more there to be a spinner because I decided Skarmory. Like I said, Zygarde takes out the Skarmory, so it's a lot less viable. Skarmory does deal with the Mega Beedrill, but so does the Hippowdon, so Skarmory was kind of not as essential in this match. I'm hoping that my opponent does see the Hippowdon and see the Excadrill, and he predicts like the generic Bulb Sandrush Excadrill set. So hopefully I can catch my opponent off guard with either a Stealth Rock lead, or maybe he won't predict the Rapid Spin. The Rapid Spin also gives us the speed boost. Obviously not the same speed boost as a Sandrush, but we still do get a speed boost from it, so we can still put in work with the Excadrill. I went for the Mold Breaker over the Sandrush, obviously, mate, for the one reason of the Rotom Heat, which he probably will bring. If he's predicting me to bring the Sand, he'll probably bring the Rotom Heat to try and counter the Excadrill. So, yeah, we are EV'd to outspeed a timid Rotom. So even if he does bring like an offensive Rotom to try and counter my Excadrill, we still managed to beat that out, assuming that it's not scarfed. If it is scarfed, we can work around that. We always do. But yeah, I mean, between the Earthquake and the Iron Head, we do take out a lot of his team, or at least he doesn't have resistances. Looking through here, yeah, he's literally got no resistances to either of my stabs particularly. I mean, looking at this, I was going to say that Iron Head probably isn't too essential, but it is there for the Ninetales, so yeah, we'll keep that on there. Yeah, if we can get off a Rapid Spin, we can kind of not sweep or anything with this thing, but we can punch a hole in my opponent's team. Yeah, so next up we've got the Politoed. A very generic Whirlpool, Perish Song, Rest, Sleep, Talk. Like, it's a bit of a boring set. This thing isn't here to particularly put in work on my opponent. It's just there to set up the rain and maybe just function as a bit of a defensive wall if anything happens to the Palatoad. I was tempted to go for the Shad Special, the Choice Specs Weatherball Politoad, because literally I want to really take advantage of the fact of this column here. I really want to take advantage of that, especially if my opponent brings Servine. I mean, that's his only answer to the water. So I should say, if he doesn't bring the Servine, we can sweep, right? So I was really tempted to bring the Specs Politoad, but I think I don't want to be too crazy, right? Especially if my opponent's bringing the something like the Ninetales Aurora Veil, like he can work around it. So I kind of wanted to have a bit more defensive viability. I just wanted a Rain Setter. And I think the Damprock is going to prove more important than a Choice Specs. Sorry, my cat is just demanding attention right now. Yeah, very, very generic set. Next up, we've got Sid Vicious the Dracovish. We are going for the Choice Scarf. I did allude to it. A Choice Scarf Ninetales does take out this set. If I find out that my opponent's Choice Scarfed in any fashion at any point during the battle, we can work around that. It wouldn't be too bad. The power output won't be too good on the Ninetales, so Mega Ordino does serve as a really nice switch in. Yeah, obviously Choice Scarf, Vicious Wind, Strong Jaw. That's what this thing is. It's EV to outspeed an Adamant Beedrill. If he runs a Jolly Beedrill, which he probably will do, then we can't outspeed it under any conditions anyway. So yeah, the fastest threat on my opponent's team is that Beedrill. Literally, I could only need one move on this set. I only need one move. Ice Fang is there for the Servine, in case I do need that. Outrage and Leech Life, absolutely not essential at all. It's just that I mean, I could very easily just run this set with one move, but why would you do that? I've just got to come up with moves to fill the other slots, really. I could probably go for something in case the Choice Scarf gets knocked off. I've run a Super Fang before, maybe even a substitute, but like, no, I'm just gonna stick with this. Only hit Fisher's Rend and I'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, I spoke through the speed EVs on this, didn't I? Yeah, outspeeds the Adamant Beedrill and everything else. Next up, we've got the Hippolytoad. This thing is, again, like, considering that I usually run this thing really, really bulky defense with like Toxic and Stealth Rock, stuff like that. My cat is just being a nuisance right now. Yeah, I am going a little bit more offensive with this. Ice Fang is obviously there for the Zygarde if he decides to set up on in my face. Maybe he runs like a Dragon Dance Lumberry and he expects me to go for the Toxic. I'll go for the Ice Fang, do over 50%, and it'll catch him off guard. He won't be able to one-hit KO me at +1, and the Ice Fang is a 2-hit KO on him, so I'm going for that kind of a thing. Earthquake obviously there for Stab and Stone Edge, stuff like the Rotom that the Stab doesn't otherwise hit. Slack Off, because I do still intend this to be a defensive switch-in to stuff like the Zygarde. Like, just because I'm not running defensive EVs on this thing, it doesn't mean that this thing is suddenly just there for the offense. Like, it is there to form part of the defensive core along with the Mega Ordino, like it normally does. I just did a few calcs, and if my opponent doesn't manage to set up, this thing is absolutely still a really safe switch-in to stuff like the Mega Beedrill and the Zygarde. So yeah, I didn't need the defensive EVs, so I'm having to also catch my opponent off guard, like an Adamant Hippowdon. Fully attack invested. You don't really see that too much, so hopefully that Earthquake can do heavy damage to my opponent without him expecting it too much. And yeah, last up we've got the Mega Ordino. This one is a bit more of a generic bulb set. I don't think I've ever ran anything else with Mega Ordino apart from maybe Knockoff once, and Knockoff was tempting because, again, Servine. If my opponent doesn't bring Servine, I'm really happy. I do think he will, though. But yeah, so the Knockoff was tempting to get rid of the Eviolite, but I mean, Dazzling Gleam, Wish Protect, Heal Bell, you can't really go wrong with this set. Obviously, we've got the full special defense investment, and yeah, I mean, full disclosure, I crafted this team like a week ago. So I'm a little bit hazy on a lot of the more intricate details of this team build, but that is the general idea of it. I know that I was really tempted to bring the Sun this battle, actually. Stuff like the Ninetales and the Houndoom, but the Ninetales especially absolutely tears through stuff like the Melmetal, the Swampert when it's got Solar Beam. It's like a 2-hit KO if I went like a Specs Ninetales with 2-hit KO on the Rotom Heat. Like, it was tempting to bring the Sun. It was also tempting to bring the Sand because my opponent is quite Excadrill weak, and it would also obviously help with the Dracovish, with Sandwich Dracovish. So this is kind of the match where I could have brought any weather. But yeah, I think that, I mean, obviously if I bring the sand, then it'll destroy my Blastoise plans, because it'll go down to the Sash, and then the Sandstorm will take me out. So yeah, I'd have to go for a very different team makeup if I was going to bring the sand. Also with the sun, I was tempted to bring like a utility umbrella Blastoise, so I didn't lose the power on the surf, and I could have brought like a weather ball for fire coverage to take out stuff like the Melmetal. Like, there was potential here to be really fun with my weathers. I've kind of gone a bit more generic, but I am bringing the rain and not the sand, which I think is really important, because I've said before, I am a little bit too reliant on the sand, so I think it's important to start bringing different weathers. Hopefully catch my future opponents off guard so they don't get too settled with the idea of me bringing sand. But yeah, that's the team. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to win this match. Alright guys, just before the battle, I do want to say that audio quality isn't particularly great. In this battle I haven't quite figured out where to put my microphone just yet. So yeah, the audio quality isn't too great. You're just going to have to sort of accept that. I do apologise. Enjoy the battle. Okay, so here we are. Match day against Earthlab. I will say I've been really lax with the league the last couple of weeks. I did the team builder for this video 2 weeks ago. I've practiced with battles. I am not overly familiar with my team makeup. So yeah, on that, all disclaimers aside, let's do this. So I'm just going to take a quick look at his team here. What hasn't he brought that I might have planned for? He hasn't brought the Servine, which means Vicious Rend is really tasty. What else are we missing? Galarian Moltres wasn't really too much of a concern for me. He's got obviously the Zygarde, the Melmetal, and the Mega Beedrill, which is terrifying. The Rotom Heat, which makes me glad that I brought the Mold Breaker Excadrill. No Mesprit as well, which is really nice. I mean, Blastoise can... Oh, I should have stuck the Flash Cannon on instead of the Dark Pulse. I had the Dark Pulse there for the Mesprit, didn't I? Yeah, I should have stuck with the Flash Cannon. To be completely honest, though, I'm kind of tempted to just lead off with Dracovish and smack something about a bit. I don't actually have Iron Head. I was weighing my options there. So yeah, assuming that this Ninetales isn't scarfed itself, it killed the Ninetales. Let's just go for like a defensive Swampert. I mean, it doesn't do a whole amount to it if it's defensive. If not, it's a potential OCO. Go to that page now. Melmetal. We're not KOing. Obviously, Rotom we will. Don't need to calc that. Zygarde. It's tempting. It's really tempting to just go out into Sid Vicious. I just feel like Tiny would be a good shout, just to maybe set up my rocks or spin away his hazards if he does go for a hazard lead. I mean, my cat's here. I don't know if you can see my cat. She's here to support. Also, something like Hippowdon is kind of tempting. It's kind of tempting. I can do pretty heavy damage to all Pokemon on my opponent's team, and other than the Swampert, they can't really do too much back to him. I'm going to lead off Sid Vicious, I think. Hopefully we can just get my opponent on the back foot. We'll learn some information about his Pokemon. If he leads off with a Beedrill and outspeeds me, that means he's jolly. If we outspeed, it means he's adamant. We should outspeed absolutely everything unscarfed on his team. And he does lead off with a Beedrill. So I can, because obviously my team isn't, I've addressed it before, my team isn't the speediest of teams, so that might make my opponent tempted to go for a adamant set over a jolly set. So that might be quite good information to gain. I mean, I'm assuming this thing can't like Oko me, can it? With anything that it does, its poison jab isn't nice, but like, yeah, we can just take some. We can just take something out. I mean, as I say, take something out. We can do heavy damage. We should be a 2-hit KO on everything. So even if he goes for the U-turn, we should outspeed anything unscarfed, and it should be a 2-hit KO. Or he doesn't go for the U-turn, and we just kill a Beedrill. Yeah, he's adamant. Brilliant. Brilliant. Obviously, we've revealed the scarf here, which isn't ideal. But, I mean, that's one threat out of the way. Oh, Dracofish. Oh, Dracofish, I love you. So, he knows that we're scarfed. That's the one bad thing about that play. But I've brought Scarf Dracofish a lot this season. It shouldn't be too much of a surprise that I am Scarf. I mean, yeah, even if you're fully defensive, it's a 2-hit KO. I mean, what are you doing to me? You could, like... I mean... Your Earthquake isn't a 2-hit KO. I'm just going to keep hitting Fish's Rend. I'm not going to overthink this at all. If he wants to set up his rocks, that's fine. If he wants to go for his Earthquake, that did more than I wanted it to, but it's fine. It's a dead Swampert. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. I mean, Blastoise is still my win con, so I'm kind of happy just staying in, hitting Fish's Rend. Melmetal comes in, that makes me want to go out into Hippo. That really makes me want to go into Hippo. Oh my god, that double... Did I not calc this? What's wrong with me? Why is that a if I would have gone fully defensive, that's... Did I not do anything? Okay, so Hippo isn't a safe switch. This is going to be a very short battle, isn't it? I mean, I guess... Do we need Sid Fishes for anything? Because I'm very tempted to just go for the Fisher's Rend. Because I want the safe switch into Tiny at this point. Tiny outspeeds a timid Rotom, so if he's not Scarf Rotom, we can kind of sweep with Tiny? Actually, no, there's the Zygarde there. What's Tiny doing to this Melmetal? Because I need to get a lot of damage off on this thing. I think Sid Fishes has worn out his use. Oh my god, are we gonna... Oh! Oh no. Does this thing get Bullet Punch? What is going on? What is going on? That is... I mean, you could say that's insanely unlucky on my opponent's part, or you could say these 16 EVs in HP, which I saved from doing like really minute speed EVs, you could say that has saved my skin. I do want to see if that was a roll or not, but this Zygarde comes in, and if he sets up a Dragon Dance, he's... I mean, even if he sets up a Dragon Dance, we're Focus Sash on Blastoise, so I say we just keep hitting that fish button, baby. It's a crit! Oh, God. Oh, my God, I'm so sorry, dude. Oh, my God, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry, dude. I mean, I always try not to... the hail took him out. I thought I was going to go for a 6-0 vicious sweep there. I mean, yeah, we outspeed this thing. Yeah, what I was going to say is, obviously I do... Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry, dude. That's a wipe. Sorry about minor hacks on my end. Yeah, I mean, firstly, what a fucking battle. Like, I usually play so passively. Like, I think just having such an aggressive setup, that kind of lent the win in my favour. What I was going to say, anyway, sorry, I got distracted a few times there. Which turn was it? It was the critical hit on the Zygarde. I usually try and say whenever I get a crit or whatever, I don't usually apologise for hacks because it's the game that we play, and in like a 50-turn battle, the hacks will generally balance each other out, so I try not to apologise for it. That crit was huge, though. Even then, like, saying that, like I say, I still had a Shell Smash Blastoise, so if the Zygarde went for a 1,000 arrows to take out my Dracovish, I can just come in with anything that would outspeed it, or like, well, I'd come in with the Blastoise, go for the Shell Smash, go for the Ice Beam, and then I could kill the Ninetales and the Rotom. If he went for the Dragon Dance, he'd outspeed my Dracovish on the next turn, take that out. I'd still be able to bring in the Blastoise. I'm pretty sure a Shell Smash Blastoise outspeeds a... Oh, sorry, I should say I'm pretty sure a +2 Blastoise outspeeds a +1 Zygarde, so I'd still be able to get off the Shell Smash. And so yeah, it was unfortunate because that would have really demoralised my opponent, and it's probably given Dracovish a bit of stat padding that he didn't otherwise deserve. But like, I don't think that crit mattered in terms of the result because he didn't manage to get hazards upon my side of the field, and so Blastoise won with a free Shell Smash. So I'm not. Yeah, do you know what? I don't feel too bad about those hacks. I just won a battle in 8 turns. I'm the same guy who had a 227 turn battle or whatever it was against Paul. I just won in 8 turns, and it could have been a vicious rend, just annihilation if not for the hail. That is. I mean, I'm now wondering, could I have played that a little bit differently? To try and preserve a 6-0, but there's no point thinking about that. I've just got a 5-0, and I'm pretty sure that keeps us second in the league. And I'm pretty sure we still got a game in hand, which is the Ballistic Battle, which should be happening on Monday, I think. Anyway, enough rambling. This is going to be a really short video. Yeah, wow.